the year 2015, and it was September, and it was around 7:30 p.m. to be exact. Like, I can remember this day as clear as day. And there I was on the 7th floor. My arms were tightly wrapped around the rails. I can still literally feel the breeze on the 7th floor blowing in my face. And there were only one thought going through my head. Jump, Deano, jump. Just get it over with. You know, that's the only way you can get rid of all this pain. And that was the first time I've had a thought of killing myself. You know, it's funny that we all have these self-defeating thoughts, but at that point, I know that that wasn't me. Something wasn't right. Like, definitely something wasn't right, because at that point in my life, I was in a bad place financially. The most workout I did was walking to the 7th floor, you know, and my relationship was more or less going to the dogs. I wasn't motivated by my work, and I was more or less going through the motion of most days. You know, it was just a perpetual loop. And on my best days, I spent my best days in bed, scrolling through my phone, looking at social media. But something had to change, and I did change. Now, one day while I was in bed scrolling through social media, I came across this speaker by the name of Jim Rohn. If you guys know who Jim Rohn is, you can just share some love and show some respect. And while I was listening to his tapes, he said something that resonated with me. As if he jumped out of the screen and he looked me right in my eyes and he's like, Deano, for things to get better for you, you need to get better.
Hi there, Adrian here, and this is a video from a Zoom session that we do. We do these Zoom sessions every Sunday, and we take questions and answers from the audience. Some of our students, some of our members. We never know what questions are coming up, so I'm always excited to do these sessions, and I hope to see you at one of them. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below and check out the other playlists that we have. Thank you, enjoy.
Okay, well, first off, I just want to say thank you guys for showing up here today. And also, for those of you who have your cameras off, if you don't mind, it would be really great if you can turn your camera on. You know, it's a small group of us here today. That way I can engage and connect with you as if I'm standing on a stage, and I can see your response as I say something that may not connect, or something that, you know, may connect deeply with you. So that way we can continuously be in rapport as I share with you. Now, over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to be sharing with you 6 evergreen secrets. Now, these are secrets that has been taught throughout our lifetime, and it's only recently with the advance in neuroscience, we're now able to model these secrets in a way where we can apply them to the lives of others. Yeah. But just before I begin, I'd like to ask you a question. I'd like to help me answer this question. And the question is, what do you think is the number one thing most people in the world want? You can turn on your mic and answer. I just want to hear what your thoughts are in this moment. What do you think is the number one thing most people in the world wants? Okay, freedom. Michelle said freedom. Yeah, not bad, yeah.
Health, money,
happiness,
power,
health, money, power. Now,
growth.
The only thing that all of these have in common is that they're all wrong. Yeah, they're great things. Don't get me wrong. They're great things, and they're things that people want. But in my opinion, I don't believe that they are the number one thing that most people want. Let me take you back a few. It was the year 2015, and it was September, and it was around 7:30 p.m. to be exact. Like, I can remember this day as clear as day. And there I was on the 7th floor. My arms were tightly wrapped around the rails. I can still literally feel the breeze on the 7th floor blowing in my face. And there were only one thought going through my head. Jump, Deano. Jump. Just get it over with. You know, that's the only way you can get rid of all this pain. And that was the first time I've had a thought of killing myself. You know, it's funny that we all have these self-defeating thoughts, but at that point, I know that that wasn't me. Something wasn't right. Like, definitely something wasn't right, because at that point in my life, I was in a bad place financially. The most workout I did was walking to the 7th floor, you know, and my relationship was more or less going to the dogs. I wasn't motivated by my work, and I was more or less going through the motion of most days. You know, it was just a perpetual loop. And on my best days, I spent my best days in bed scrolling through my phone, looking at social media. But something had to change, and I did change. Now, one day while I was in bed scrolling through social media, I came across this speaker by the name of Jim Rohn. If you guys know who Jim Rohn is, you can just share some love and show some respect. And while I was listening to his tapes, he said something that resonated with me, as if he jumped out of the screen and he looked me right in my eyes and he's like, Deano, for things to get better for you, you need to get better. And at that point, I was like, wow, he's definitely right. Everything that I'm experiencing right now in my life was as a result of my performance and no one else. And I did what any normal human being would have done at that time. I stayed in bed and I continued scrolling. Then he said this. He said, Deano, learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your business. And I was like, mind blown. You know, these simple principles, I'm wondering, why haven't I heard these before? And maybe I did, but I never really paid attention. And I did what any normal human being would have done. I stayed in bed and I continued scrolling. Then he said this. This is really what made a significant difference in where I'm here today. He said, Deano, don't let your learning lead to knowledge. Let your learning lead to action. And that's when I got it. I realized that if things are going to change for me, I needed to take action. I needed to become more. And the number one thing most people want in life, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, that is more. Let me ask you guys this question. Won't it be nice to have more passion in your relationships? Yeah? Won't it be nice to have more money in your bank account? Won't it be nice to be more influential, productive, and to inspire the people who you lead and your family? Yeah? But the thing is, for you to get more, you need to become more. You literally need to shift into a higher gear and activate your full potential and become a high performer in whatever you do. Okay? And throughout this presentation, I'm going to share with you 6 secrets, 6 evergreen secrets, that if you actively engage with these secrets and develop mastery with these, they're going to literally change your life. Now, at this point, this is the point where you need to get your pen and your paper out, because I'm going to just tell you what these secrets are. Like, I'm not going to be telling any kind of story and go around the road and come back here. No, I'm going to tell you what they are right now. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds. All right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm assuming that you're ready for them. And the 4th secret is master your mind. That's secret number 1. Secret number 2, master your body. Secret number 3, master your focus. Secret number 4, master your presence. Secret number 5, master influence. And secret number 6, master purpose. There you go. That's it. And that right there, that's the end of my presentation. Like with that alone, you can go home and practice those and you're set, and that's it. Yeah. And I know at this point, you must be wondering, now what? Yeah, what if I master these 6 habits? Like, why is it any good to me? Yeah. Yeah. Well, most likely because I haven't given you the why and the how. Yeah, they're still missing bits of information. And that's why at this point, I'm going to do something a bit different. Yeah, I'm going to be coaching during this session. And because I know that each of you are at a different point in your journey, when I'm going to ask these questions, you're going to find your own emotional transformation. Because you see, there's a secret behind of coaching, and that is powerful question makes a massive impact. Okay, so first, what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to tell you why these secrets are important. Then I'm going to help you get to how you're going to be implementing these secrets. So let me just note this point, how you guys are feeling. Just drop some love in the comment section so I know where you are. Are you guys ready to go on this journey to really understand why it's important and how you can apply these into your life right now? Harry, are you with me? Are you ready? Are you really ready for this? Jonas, you with me? Yeah, I'm seeing some head nod. Harold, Alexandra, Chanika. Okay, let's get this party started. So they say high performance is more or less the achiever's secrets, right? This means excelling and succeeding above the standard norm consistently over the long term without burning out. You know, one of the coaches who I also like to follow have this very interesting quote. He says, I don't know if it's his quote per se, but the thinking and habits that got you here is not going to get you there. There's always that new upper limit to break through. So the beautiful thing about these secrets is that it helps you to consistently excel above the standard norm, okay, without burning out. And this is a feeling of full engagement, joy, confidence that comes from consistently living from and into your own full potential. Not no one else's potential, your own potential. The person who you can be better than who you are now. Yeah? And as a result of doing this, you will become more open and observant to the present moment. You'll be more creative, loving, and expressive, self-reliant, future-oriented. You'll be a challenge seeker, yeah, a connection lover, and a meaning maker. And isn't these some of the qualities that we want more of in our life? Yeah. And high performance in our life is a heightened level of clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. These are words that most of you are quite familiar with. And we now know for you to experience these, you need to master these 6 secrets. So in this moment, we're going to have a coaching conversation. But because I want to respect everyone that is here, as I'm asking you some of these questions and sharing with you a few anecdotes so that you can integrate it and make it relatable, I want you to take a note of your own personal insight and share that insight in the chat. And the only reason why I'm asking you to share the insight in the chat is that when you share the insight in the chat, that means that you now know one more thing than you did before. And that's you giving a gift to everybody that is here. Would that be possible? Yeah, I know some of you may not want to share, but that's okay as well. But if you have an insight, just share it. Okay? And we can create that kind of synergy. So now let's move on to secret number 1. Master your mind. Let me ask you this question. As we're here speaking, we're having this dialogue. Are you living your truth? Really check in with yourself. See where that lands and feel that. Yeah. What 3 words really defined you as a person? And are you living those words? What 3 words define how you interact with others? And are you living those words? Are you showing up as your truest and most authentic self? I remember in one of our NLP training, Adrian said, and I quote, authenticity is being in rapport with self. Are you in rapport with self? Now, there's this very interesting story about this young lady, and she was very frustrated. She was really, really stressed, and she went to her father, who was a chef, and she told her that, everything in her life is going to the dogs. Nothing is working how she planned. And the father was there. He said he listened like any good father would. And he decided to take her to the kitchen. And she was a bit frustrated, wondering, why is this man taking me to the kitchen? I'm not hungry. I don't want to eat. I'm stressed. Everything is just, hard, difficult. I just can't take it anymore. And the father was, patient and quiet. And he took 3 pots out of equal size. And he poured water in each of those pots in equal amounts. And in the first pot, he put an egg. In the second pot, he put a potato. And in the third pot, he put some coffee beans. Well, the daughter was a bit impatient and she was still wondering, why is this man boiling egg, coffee, and potato? And they spent about 20 minutes so that everything can boil. And as time went by, they start, it was finished. And the father asked the daughter, look, what do you see? And the daughter replied, I see an egg, a potato, and I see coffee. Then he said, touch the potato and tell me, what do you feel? Well, now the potato is soft. What about the egg? Touch the egg. Or the egg, now it's a bit more cooked on the inside. And he gave her some of the coffee to drink, and she smiled. And she smelled that, that aroma of the coffee, and it felt really good to her in that moment. And then the father emphasized that each of these has went through the same exact process. They were placed under a certain amount of heat, a certain amount of pressure. And the egg went in soft, and it came out hard on the outside. The potato, it went in hard and a bit rigid, and it came out a bit soft. And the coffee bean, it went in, and as it was going through that process, it became a part of the water and made it into something beautiful. And the question the daughter asked, the father asked the daughter was, whenever you're going through something tough in life, what would you like to be like? The egg, the potato, or the coffee bean? Okay? A major reason why it's so important for us to master our mind and be in rapport with self is so whenever life struggles come our way, we be more like coffee in our response to these struggles. And I know it's easier said than done. That's why I always emphasize to my tribe that this is not something you have or you don't. This is a practice. Okay, so as you have gathered your own insight, one thing that I also want you to take away is how can you continuously master this practice? Yeah. Secret number 2. Master your body. Are you rest and fully hydrated? And I'm not talking about right now. Look at an average day, throughout your day, throughout your week. Are you usually rested and fully hydrated? Now that I'm saying that, I can feel the dryness in my throat. Are you sleeping and eating, exercising, hydrating, gesturing, and speaking with passion enough? Yeah, to have the energy you deserve. Yeah, that energy, that mystical force that we don't see. Sometimes we use science to explain it. I have a lot of friends who are quote unquote very successful. Yeah, very successful financially. Yeah, but you see them in public and it appears that they're enjoying their life. But when I sit and talk to them in private, oh, it's a different story. If you're not feeling, if you're not moving, and the shell that you're in is not fully nourished, you're not going to be showing up in the way you should. They're saying that the mind and body, they are one system, not two. Western literature has taught us for a long time that the mind controls the body. But today, with new technology and learning, realize that it's a communication between two systems that is one. So as our body stand and posture and move and we feed it, it sends those information to our brain, and our brain sends off its signal and make us feel and behave in a particular way. So today I ask you, how can you show up each day to master your body? Secret number 3, master your focus. They say energy flows where focus goes. Yeah, I know that you have big dreams, you have things that you want to accomplish. Yeah, you have a big to-do list, your calendar sometimes is filled to the T. So let me ask you this, what is your mission today? Your mission today, not your mission on a whole, not your mission next year, not your mission next. What is your mission today? What's important now? Yeah. What are you looking forward to today? Like right now, where you are in your seat, what are you going to bed in the next few minutes? What are you going to meet a friend at lunch? What are you looking forward to? And now this is the most powerful question that I can ask you in the entire presentation when it comes to focus. What must you accomplish today to progress in your life? Because one of my favorite writer, Robin Sharma, I hope you guys have read some of his book. If not, you should check him out. He says that productivity is not about what we do with our time, but it's more about how we run our mind. Yeah. A lot of us are controlled by the fear of missing out. You know, want everything to happen at this time, this place. Everybody should be moving things around. But we are losing focus on what is important today, because all we have is today. And when we start to master our focus, and now I'm talking about your mission today, this also ties into the idea of mastering your mind. Yeah. And also ties into the mastering your body. And as you increase your ability in each of these habits, it increases across all habits. So now that we're at habit number 3, I just want to check the chat to see what everybody's saying. So let me see if anybody have any insights from what I've just shared. Let me just hear what you're thinking in this moment. Let me get some feedback. What is going on?
I'm very happy, man. I'm loving this. My kids are walking around, right? I'm listening. My daughter's listening. This is going on. Right on.
That's right. That's right. I'm loving it too. Okay, Colin, thinking about what I can do right now. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yeah. Okay, Darko. That will take activity to master the body. Shanika, go ahead.
Yes, I want to say I like the example that you gave with the water. I've heard about the
Beautiful.
egg before. I heard the egg before, the egg story, but having 3 different ideas about the water and how it affected the egg, the potato, and the coffee, it was like, oh, this is aha. Oh, this is aha. Oh,
Brilliant.
wow. This is the aha moment. Wow.
Brilliant.
So,
Brilliant.
so it made me
Brilliant,
think about
brilliant.
like how I would like to go through how would I would like to be when I'm going through tough times in my life. I'm still thinking about that. What do I want to be?
Brilliant. Brilliant. And keep on thinking, you know, continuing understanding this majestic technology that we have been given. And I see Golden Seed mention, be present to the present moment. Oh my gosh. This one, as I said, it's easier said than done, because even me myself, sometimes I'm always all over the place. Like, for example, today, I know I was going to give this presentation. And before this presentation, I could have feel all those different emotions in my body. The anxiety, thinking about, okay, I can do it like this, remembering what I planned. You know, I was all over the place. And because I know myself so much, I know that this shall sometimes have a mind of its own. One of the things I've always done before presentation, I'll meditate. I'll find a guided meditation and just 10 minutes and it all stops. I'm calm, I'm selective, and I'm back in the moment. Because the only thing that matters is now, right now. I having this dialogue with you right here, right now. You getting your own personal insight and you taking action on them at the end of this presentation. And I love that Nan said, I'm thinking that I need to implement the daily habit of implement the 6 secret. And that is so beautiful. Yes, make it a part of your morning routine. Yeah, for those of you who have joined my high performance leader program like Chanika and Nan, you see that my program is designed in a way where it's a routine. I'm not just giving you a video to watch. No, you have a routine that would help you master these habits, okay? Which requires meditating, moving, learning, the whole shebang. And I'm not expecting you to be perfect at it, but I expect you to practice these habits. And I love that Michelle also said, I'm not fully living my truth now, but I have made decision and making progress to moving closer to that, which is beautiful. Yeah, which is beautiful. And Michelle, I challenge you to this. Yeah, I love that you're making progress towards living your truth. And this is how is it? This is a covenant that I want to make with you today, Michelle. The day you wake up and you feel in your heart and your soul that you're living your truth, send me a message because I want to celebrate with you. Yeah? Okay? Just send me a personal message and we'll celebrate together. Okay? And one last one from Chanika before we move on. I like the story about the water can affect different things differently. Beautifully. Beautifully. Thank you guys so much for sharing and engaging with me. This means so much. And let's move on to secret number 4. Mastering influence. Now, this is a big one. But first, before I share you why it's a big one to me, let me ask you this question. Are you developing influence? Are you demonstrating empathy and bold enthusiasm when you seek to influence others? And the key word there is empathy. Yeah. Like a major part of our NLP presuppositions is behavioral flexibility. And that simply means that for you to be influential, you need to be willing to be influenced. Yeah? You feel that one? For example, right now, I'm literally in the process of trying to build a relationship with my younger brother. Somebody who I've grown up with, who I think is one of the persons who have known me for most of my life. But our relationship is really not at a point where we do not communicate on the same wave. Yeah, he's what I'll call the rebel of all rebels. You know, there's always that one brother, that one kid who's just, he appears he's going down the direction that is not the direction that you want anyone to be going. But as I know, I need to respect his map of the world. Yeah, and for a very long time, I've been trying to show him my map of the world, to telling him how he should live, what he should do. And I've been missing the dot. And a major reason why is because I lack empathy. Yeah, I'm trying to influence him, but I'm not willing to be influenced by him. Sounds a bit counterintuitive, but that's really where the secret lies. The moment I get down off of my high horse and put my ego aside, yeah, that's when everything's gonna change. And I know right now, as I'm sharing this with you, there's someone in your life who you like to be a better role model to. Yeah? There's someone in your life who you need to be showing up differently for. Yeah? And unless you master this word of empathy and taking bold, enthusiastic action, you would never be able to influence them because their map of the world is different from yours. Okay? So let me reinforce this question. Are you developing influence? Are you demonstrating empathy and bold enthusiasm when you seek to influence that person? And secret number 5, master your presence. Yeah, what level are you in terms of your emotional and physical vibrance and presence? You know, how are you showing up when you step into a room? Yeah, how are you showing up when you are, with the person who you love? You know, how are you showing up for your teammates at work, your colleagues? How are you showing up for your boss? How are you showing up for your employees and the people that you serve? Yeah, what is your posture like? Are you really giving them your full and undivided attention? I can remember this one time I have a friend, he works on these big cruise ships. And he shared something with me very interesting. He said that when you're in the ship working, there are some workers that they spend the entire day and they always have like the, what you call the, the waiter would have these trays on their shoulder and they usually be taking it from the kitchen. And he said, when you see them, they'll usually be walking like this because of the weight. And he said, interestingly, even after work, you see them, they're still walking like this, not having any weight on their shoulder. And that's a bit exaggerated, but I was quite, intrigued by his story because in life, most of us are like that. Yeah. Sometimes when we're by ourselves, we're not like this, but maybe we are like this. Maybe we are like this. And maybe we're like this. Sometimes when we're talking to others, maybe we are like this. Yeah. And those are unconscious signals that we are consistently sending to our body that is affecting our emotional vibrance and the way we show up each day. So please check in with yourself. What level are you in terms of your emotional and physical vibrance and presence each day? And secret number 6, how do you stay on purpose and greatly serve right now? And this is more or less the foundation, that is supporting everything that you do, your values, your beliefs, your whys. Yeah, this morning I was listening to an interview with Jish Shetty and Tom Bailey. Recently I've been listening to the Impact Theory podcast, and he said something very interesting. He said that when you use your passion to serve others, that's when you find your purpose. And I was like, wow, that one's deep. I know there are times that sometimes we get tripped up about what our passion is. But you know, the funny thing about this is that it's not that we don't know what our passions are. It's that we do not acknowledge that which we are a genius at as a strength or passion. Yeah. The moment you decide to take a quick survey with the 5 people you know best and ask them what you're good at, they'll tell you point blank. And the moment you start acknowledging that thing and you use that thing to serve others, you're going to find your purpose. Yeah. And I'm not saying this because I can say it. I'm saying this because this is how it's always worked throughout life. Yeah. Service to others. Contribution. There's this hormone in our body that whenever we give in any way whatsoever, it fills us up with this good feeling. So I'm asking you, how can you stay on purpose and serve greatly right now? What I'm curious to know is what's different for you now? After hearing everything that I've shared, what's coming up in your mind? Okay, other thing I would improve is master influence. And a question I'll leave on the floor for you, Darko, how specifically would you master influence daily? Annabelle, I think it is more of knowing and mastering yourself first and foremost. Beautiful, beautiful. Nan, when you use your passion to serve others is when you find your purpose. That's powerful. Sometimes I struggle to give myself credit for what I'm great at, as there is always some people who are better. That's understandable. There's always people who are better than you, and there's always people who you are better than as well. Yeah, and we all are at a different stage in our life, and there are people who actually need you right now who you're much better than. I'm no Tony Robbins, yeah, but Tony Robbins can't serve everybody, can he? There's some people who really need me right now, who need my level of attention at this point. And that goes for you as well, Nan. And Michelle, insight that this is not a write a plan and review it regularly. This is a daily practice to check in with yourself to make sure that I am on track. I love that. I love that. And we all know what gets measured gets improved. Yeah, sometimes we can be a bit, laid back when it comes to making these intentional acts. But I do know that you want to show up more for the people you love. You want to be a role model for your kids, for your husband, your wives. Yeah. You want to be a challenge seeker. You want to be more creative. Yeah. But for you to enjoy the luxury of these qualities, you need to take intentional action. Okay, Harry, for the last 2 years, I've been working on myself. The more I know about me, the more I'm helping others. Beautiful. By sharing my story, my key skills are key. And I love that you said sharing your stories. Yeah. A lot of time we believe that for us to give something of value, we need to have money. For us to give something of value, we need to give an iPhone or a Tesla. But stories are some of the most beautiful gifts that you can share. Yeah, if you look at Hollywood, All those Marvel and big movies, what are they? They're stories, and they make billions of dollars. And what I want to emphasize as we're talking about purpose and trying to mix passion into it, sometimes the things that we're good at are so small: listening, building rapport, using the same language. And language doesn't have to be English, Chinese. Language can be your own personal experience and stories. And it's time for us to put these into practice every day, every week. Yeah. And if throughout this entire presentation, you didn't get any insight, you didn't remember anything whatsoever, I really want to leave you with this principle. Yeah. Write them in your notebook, stick them on your wall. For things to get better for you, you need to get better. And 1% improvement each day would exponentially grow each year. Yeah. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because the biggest bottleneck of your business, of your practice, of anything that you do is you. Number 3, don't let your learning lead to knowledge, please. Let your learning lead to action. Like, please, I'm begging you. Yeah, I'm really begging you. Yeah, the things that you do learn, find a way to actively engage with it and apply it. And that could be as simple as sending a message in one of these groups that you're in. It could be as simple as using it in a conversation that you have today. Yeah. And with everything that has been said, this is what has been the foundation of my coaching model. Okay. And this is what I call the high performance leader blueprint. And recently I made a post is that, the reason why I say high performers is not that I'm trying to, exclude some people, because I believe there's a high performer in each and every one of us. And my mission here as a coach, as I told somebody today, is to make leadership sexy. And that is to bring that high performer out of you. And focusing on these 6 experiences in the first 6 sessions of seeking an above level of clarity, finding out how clear you feel about your life and goals. Do you have the physical energy and stamina to perform at your best? Yeah, we're focusing on energy. How bold and confident are you showing up in the world? Yeah, how to master that, feel that additional layer of courage to take those bold action. What habits or routine are causing you to fall off course? And what habits and routine would you need to stay on track? And how can you better influence and lead those that you serve, your family? Yeah. And in this last 7 sessions, we'll be going a bit deep. We'll be dealing with persuasion, psychology, physiology when it comes to the body, presence, and really dialing in on your purpose and focus. And what I want to give to you today is the opportunity to engage with me for 60 minutes. Yeah, this is a free strategy session, but first I need you to scan the QR code and apply for this session. And the reason being is that this would more or less give me an idea of what we need to focus on and how I can best serve you. Yeah. So you scan the QR code, and after I review your application, I'll contact you and we can have that high performance strategy session. And this is a free strategy session. And the reason why I put that value there, because I want you to show up and play full out with me. Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll make sure I'll make the link available in the chat after, and I can share the QR code in the group for those of you who will be interested in this offer. And maybe there's some of you who may not be interested in this offer at this time and would like to take things a bit slower. You're not ready to play at this level as yet. Okay, the QR code is not there, but okay. I actually had my QR code for my ebook. I wanted to share with you my ebook. So that way you can spend your time and read and take your time, learn about some of my stories, and actually create your own ecosystem to master these habits. So I want to thank you guys for your patience. Thank you for engaging with me today. And really thank you for showing up. If anybody have any questions at this time, you can open your mic, shoot, play, and let's go.
Boom! You made it here! Good on you. Make sure you click the subscribe button below and check out the playlist at the end. If you'd like to come along to our Sunday sessions where we host a live, free Q&A for our students and members, you're welcome. I'll see you there.